Thank you for joining us, Sofia Sundari from sofiasundari.com. It's a real honour and pleasure to have you here, and I'd love you to explain a little bit more about the work that you do with sofiasundari.com and maybe even a little bit how that came about and why you're doing this work.
Yes, I'd love to share that. And thanks so much for taking the time and inviting me to be part of this amazing project. I feel it's really amazing and so needed for us women who are stepping up into our power and who are daring to speak up and actually share what we know in our hearts to be true, to feel the support from men like you and the other men who are supporting us. It's such a precious gift for all of us. Usually when people ask me what I do, I say that I'm a Tantra teacher. And what it really means to me is that I'm really opening myself to all of life. And on my path, on my mission, I'm using all of life and all of what life is giving us for expansion, for evolution, for spiritual advancement. And with open arms, I welcome those who are ready to join this beautiful path. And it's a big part of this path is embracing the sexuality and seeing the naturalness in our erotism and in our sexuality. So it's not about exaggerating it or becoming like outwardly sexual or something. And it's also learning how to transcend all the blockages and repression that we may have. So yeah, it's a lot about opening to the naturalness of our erotism, which is basically about opening to life, really.
Now, how did you get into this work?
Well, I lived in a tantric community for quite some years. I was always quite interested in sex. Even as I was growing up, I was always very fascinated. And I always felt that there must be more to sexuality than how it's normally done. And there must be more to this potent force. Somehow I had this intuition, and then I stumbled upon a tantric school, and they were basically using sexual energy for our spiritual unfoldment, and not only sexual energy, but sexual energy is a big part of it, because sexuality is such a core energy of our being. And so I came there, and I was fascinated, and many of the things that I was learning, it's like I knew them deep inside. But I never had the permission to express, or no one would understand when I spoke about this kind of mystical realms of life, which didn't really make sense to myself either. Yeah, and so I was fascinated by that, and then I lived there. I ended up living there instead of just visiting for a few months. I ended up living there and studying and practicing a lot of Tantra, a lot of yoga, and diving deep into those practices. And then eventually I became a teacher as well, and started teaching, and now I travel the world pretty much and teach. And yeah, a big part of my work this year was working with women on unleashing the wild woman inside, and also connecting with the genitals, with our yoni, and also for men actually connecting with the lingam and seeing our genitals as sacred, as actually gateway to very deep and profound connection with ourselves.
The way that we've designed the calendar is that it allows people to get an introduction to the inspirational women that are involved, with some bonuses that come with the calendar. Can you speak into the offering that you've provided with the Yoni Yoga?
Yes, I'd love to share a couple of words about this. I'm very excited to offer actually a free intro into this work. So people can actually sign up for a crash course and get a free introduction about this work, which is all about basically kind of unfolding into feminine sexuality, which starts from the yoni, from the very core of our being, from the source, from our genitals. And very often we have kind of negative relationship with that place, and lots of shame being carried there. So in this course, I am bringing a lot of love, a lot of light to this profound place, actually, and revealing all the power. And there are lots of exercises and practices that women do, and we're using the jade egg, or the yoni egg, egg made of crystal, very beautiful, powerful crystal, that is used inside of the genitals of the woman, and then certain practices are being performed with that. And it's an amazing, amazing thing, which really it's like it restores our relationship with our femininity, with our sexuality, and even has amazing effects on the physiological level and energetic level on our orgasmicness, and many, many amazing effects.
What sort of experiences have people had from doing this work, from doing the yoni yoga and using the jade egg? How has it affected them?
Oh, it's really fascinating, actually. There's quite a lot of women. We have quite a big community of women, and so those who join, they also become automatically part of the Facebook community of really beautiful women all over the world. And these are the women who want to change, who want to transform, who feel like there is massive power within them. What happens with the woman's vagina, and I sometimes call it like sleeping beauty. So she's like, and she needs some resurrection, because there's such a disconnect now, because very often we live just here in the brain and the mind, and so there is such a disconnect from our sexuality and from our vagina and from our belly, and then as we work with the egg, we are building new nerves, actually, and then sensations are possible, and sensations that many women never knew are possible. They are becoming available.
The calendar that we have created together, I'd love to just hear from you how you feel that this calendar can support and why this project is important.
Oh, well, I feel it's such a beautiful work, and this is so needed in the world, because very often women carry this sense that it's unsafe to shine, and many women they feel like if they come out too much or become too visible, then it's going to be not safe, it's going to be dangerous. And so I see that when we see people who are shining and who seem to be only shining more and more and are just opening more and more and radiating more and more, they are actually giving the permission to others to shine as well. That's why I see it's such a powerful project, because you can see this calendar and you can see the women who are standing for what they believe is right and what they believe is true, and they are on those paths, some for many years, and they continue and they trust. And even sometimes we go through periods when no one trusts in our work, and then we still do it, and then we still succeed. And so I feel it really gives empowerment to others to see that and to know it's possible, because we're all normal women, we're coming from normal backgrounds, and anyone can come to the place of power within. So I feel that the calendar is really one of those conscious projects that's really worth supporting and bringing forward.
Great. Thank you very much. If people would like to find out more about you, then click through onto the calendar at the Indiegogo page, Inspirational Women for 2017, and follow the links through to sofiasundari.com, and we'd love to get your support.
Thanks so much for watching. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Inspirational Women all over the world.